Appreciate the very patriotic voices of democratic senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I appreciate, thank you. Mr. President, the Senate, today, the day of our Lord, notes that in line with Section 5Q, Public Procurement Act 2007, the Bureau for Public Procurement, BPP, is mandated to perform procurement audits and submit such audits to the National Assembly biannually. The Senate, Mr. President, further notes that BPP has repeatedly failed and neglected to perform this crucial public and statutory duty, particularly for conduct of post-procurement audits and submission of reports to the National Assembly biannually. My respected colleagues, the Senate observes that the above neglect of duty by the BPP has affected the National Assembly in its constitutional duty of conducting oversight with respect to the application of public funds. The Senate notes that based on Section 6.1c and Section 16.1b of the Procurement Act of 2007, the Bureau of Public Procurement is authorized to issue certificate of no objection to contracts awarded by relevant procurement entities. Mr. President, the Senate further notes that the vesting of the above powers on BPP is aimed at ensuring that the letters and spirit of the Public Procurement Act is complied, government gets value for contracts or gets value for money, contracts awarded are within relevant threshold, and has it backed by budgetary allocation. My respectful colleagues, the Senate observed that BPP has consistently engaged in underhand dealings with respect to the grant of certificate of no objection, abusing these powers to make pecuniary gains. The Senate further observes that such gross abuses and violation of Public Procurement Act 2007 has been exacerbated by the recent increase in arbitrary nomination of procuring entities of winners for tendering processes, and where the procurement entity declines, the process is interjected and frustrated in bad faith and for flimsy reasons. My respected colleagues, the Senate this morning is concerned that if urgent steps are not taken to investigate these allegations and address proven infractions, the BPP is likely to transform itself from a regulator to disruptor and will endanger the entire public procurement system. The Senate this morning therefore resolves to mandate the Committee on Public Procurement in conjunction with its House of Representatives counterparts to investigate the above allegation and report back to the Senate in 5 weeks. Mr. President, today in this country, our roads are dead traps because of corruption. Our hospitals are now mere consulting clinics because of corruption. Today, mortality rates of children that are under 5 years old is 2,300 per day in this country. Today, hunger is responsible for 50% mortality rate of mothers and children. All because we have refused to address the issue of corruption in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Just because we have refused to confront corruption from its roots through procurement processes. Mr. President, when I was a member of the House of Representatives, I queried the contract given to Julius Berger for the construction of the second runway of Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. In 2008, that contract was in the budget for 2008 for 8 billion. Mr. President, it will amuse you to know that in 2009, the same contract appeared in the budget for 64.5 billion. And this was approved and ratified by the Federal Executive Council. Until that motion came up, and eventually the contract was reduced to 49 billion, and I went back and still argued it on the floor. The president then cancelled that contract. How long shall we continue in sin and ask grace to abound? It is time for the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to take the bull by the horn, ameliorate, correct, and Christian the BPP to do only that which is just and right for the masses of this country, so that social services will be available to the have-nots, the talakawas, and the mekunos. Mr. President, I will not want to belabor us with unnecessary commentaries. The time to act is now. Our primary responsibility as enshrined in Chapter 2 of the Constitution is that the security and the welfare of the people is the primary prerogative of government. The time to act is now, and we are the right people to speak against corruption in this country. Mr. President, I so move.